cook up a classic. We're gonna make veal parm. Of course, you can make the exact same meal with chicken if you prefer. You could even go eggplant if you wanna make it meat-free. We're gonna start with a really simple sauce. So olive oil, salt, garlic, and 1 onion, and medium chop. Let that sweat. And to kind of force it along, after a few minutes, I add a splash of water or chicken stock, or you can use beef stock for the same sauce because we're cooking veal. To add to the sweetness of the sauce, just a half sprinkle of sugar or a tiny little drizzle of honey, a little fresh thyme, and about a teaspoon of oregano or marjoram, 1 fresh bay leaf, another shot of chicken or beef stock to give this a slow-cooked all-day flavor. You want 2 cans of Italian tomatoes, San Marzano. I like to get big, long, pretty pieces of our veal. It's so lean and it's paper thin. And my mom always seasoned our veal parm with white pepper instead of black pepper. Then we're gonna set up our breading station. I've salted our AP flour. You salt every layer. And then to our breadcrumb station, I'm gonna season the breadcrumbs with parm, almost equal amounts of parm cheese. We don't need salt in our breadcrumbs because we've added all of the grated Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. That gives us salt. And then to this, I love ground sage if you're cooking with veal. It's lovely. So I mix that in. And then we're going to bread a few at a time. Flour, shake off excess. Egg, shake off excess. And then coat them in your breadcrumbs and get a few of them coated before you add them to the pan so they all have the same cooking time. We've got a thin layer of olive oil and we get that hot, and when it ripples, you're ready to start adding. I'm gonna keep breading these up and get some into our oil. I'll meet you right back here in a couple. So I'm gonna add a few leaves of torn basil to our sauce once it's cooked down. Once the tomatoes have broken down, I'll stir in the basil at the very end. And we're ready to top our cutlets. I keep them warm in a low oven, 250, 275. Next, we're going to drop our pasta. To top your cutlets, we're gonna take some of our sauce. Don't go nuts. You just want a little bit of saucy goodness going on. You don't want it to get all soggy. And we're gonna toss the pasta, of course, with the remainder of our sauce. That's why we did a 2-can method here. You gotta melt the cheese on top. You gotta. So we're gonna do a little mild provolone or shredded or thinly sliced mozzarella and put it under your broiler till it's brown and bubbly. And that's it. I'm gonna pop these under the broiler. When we come back, we'll toss the pasta with the sauce and we'll plate it. So I'm just gonna transfer our pasta from our cooking water down into our sauce. Yeah, I know, the parm cheese, and you just keep stirring and stirring until it coats all of the pasta. I can't even form sentences because this smells so good. A little extra of the tomato sauce down over the top. And then we have our beautiful veal with brown and bubbly sauce topped. Yes. And then a little parsley, old school. And then a little green beans. A little green beans with garlic down on the front of the plate. Beautiful, huh?